Hello there, everyone. My name is Mar, and welcome back to the next episode on Welsknight Patreon server. I have a little bit of a confession to make. This last week, we got kind of hit pretty hard with snow. Temperatures with the wind chill, it was like negative 35 degrees Fahrenheit. Which, when you're that cold, it probably doesn't matter whether it's Fahrenheit or Celsius. But it was really cold. Lots of snow, so I ended up having a couple days off work. I just took the days off myself. My car's not all that great, and I just didn't want to have to deal with the potential of getting stuck or sliding into a ditch somewhere. So I worked a lot on the pace in that time that I had off, and we're going to go over that. I did also update our map, which is why we're standing here in the library. So let's go ahead and take a look at the map. Quite a few things have changed. There was previously some good-sized island chains down here that were swamp islands that I have completely destroyed. I decided I wanted to get rid of as much landmass as I could within my within the size of my base that I don't plan on using, because ultimately I want it to be all blue except for my base, and the mushroom islands over here because I don't own those, and there's a little bit up here from the mainland that I also do not own, so I'll leave those as well. I don't know whether I'm going to do anything with these. Eventually I'm going to chop down all the trees, and if I don't do anything, I'll just get rid of the islands, sink it under the water. But that'll be a later thing. As you can see, all of the trees on our landmass is gone, or are gone, and there's also been a couple of changes, if you notice. It's kind of hard with the scale of these maps to immediately necessarily notice them, but we have some work done over here and around here and all of that sort of stuff, and we're gonna get into that, but that's gonna be a little bit later because there's also been some work that's been going on inside the base, namely upstairs. Now, in our last episode, we set up what would eventually be our crafting area, as well as our portal. And if we come down here, try not to look off to the right there, you will see we have been completely moved out for the second time. The first time around, we were leaving behind our starter house and coming here. Now we're leaving here and relocating once again to what will be the final home for our storage and everything. And I brought in all my cats that were previously just sitting out there. I still got my horses and my dogs here. I think I might use this space, maybe make some micro farms for cows and pigs and sheep and whatnot. I'm not 100% sold on that yet. I don't know whether that'd be my best option or not. But it's an option anyway. So we'll figure out something to go on there. Once again, trying not to look off in that other direction. We'll get to that when we get to that. Let's go all the way up towards our storage crafting area. Why are these torches here? I just realized these torches don't need to be here. These ones do, of course, but oh well. I actually redid this room again. Before, I had a fireplace here, and I really was unsatisfied with the location of the portal up in the storage room to be. So I relocated it down here, and I think it fits in pretty well with the space that we have. And it's not nearly as wide, which I think I actually prefer. And it still is, I think it's actually, it's 4 high, so it should be plenty tall enough. No suffocation going on. Up here, I put all of our memory wall items. So we've got the rain stick from when we were at Judge's base, trying to entice in a rain cloud. I don't think I don't think I recorded any of that, but that was pretty early in the season. This book, oh yeah, the homeowners association notice that we gave to Stina. I still feel a little guilty about that. For Gru only, do not buy. I took it anyway. It was actually the contents of the chest was to not buy it, and not the paper itself, so I took the paper. Oh yeah, that was a telemarketer. or what do you call them? Like, would you call them? It's not by phone, but in the mailbox. You just your typical horrible fraud attempt. An official IOU notice. There's another one still floating around the server. I have no idea who bought the second IOU notice. But this one Gru bought, and I helped him out with some stuff. These are kind of advertisement. Well, that one's not. This one's an advertisement that was in my mailbox. Gnome's 1 diamond shop sales. This is Thibaut's birthday diamond. A gold star I got. I don't remember what I got it for. Lee's birthday. Evil Shoes certificate of operation that I made, and then the actual owner builder permit. Lee gave us a little bit of coal for Christmas, and then I got a Welsknight arrow. I actually got a whole stack of them or whatever, and I keep one in my inventory. That way, anytime I pick up arrows, it won't stack with my arrow. So there's never, you know, I hate having a whole bunch of arrows in here. I like being able to just dump all of the random arrows I pick up into a chest without having to, you know, without being like, oh crap, I forgot to leave myself 1 arrow. Well, now I'm always going to have my 1 arrow. So this is what I did with our storage area. With the portal being against this wall, it just didn't leave me enough space for chests. So I took that down, like I said, and put it downstairs. I have a whole bunch. These are all double chests, so it's 4 wide, so that you have you can have a row on this side, and then you come to this side and have another row. And there's 4 chunks. So that's a lot of chests actually. And I thought I would have dark oak for days, and I still do have dark oak for days, but you go through dark oak, like, you go through any wood type like crazy when you're making chests. Oh my goodness, it just takes so much wood to make so many chests. But I've got all of them in here. Everything's moved, everything's organized. A couple of things actually have their own chest now. I have all of the wood types, they have their own chest. I think, did I separate out? Yeah, I separated out the diorite, the granite, the andesite, and gravel, because those 4 were previously smashed up into 2 chests. Concrete and terracotta still share. Snow and ice, sand and glass. We still got a whole bunch of miscellaneous blocks. And that's fine. We've got our dirts, our cobble, our stone. Stone's kind of empty right now. Our wool and carpet I also separated out just because we're getting kind of tight. Between the 2 of them. Coral has its own box like it did before. Armor, tools, and weapons. Originally, I think these had, like, the armor had its own chest for each armor type, but then I ended up taking a whole bunch of it and putting it in my store, so this is all we've got left. I just left it in 1 whole chest, I guess. For now, anyway, but we've got plenty of room for expansion as well, which is excellent. I probably won't do usually when I get into bulk storage, I end up just putting it in a shulker box inside the chest it goes with, so I guess that's my method of bulk storage. And dirt is usually the only, well, dirt and maybe cobble and stone, I suppose, but we end up using so much of it in our base building that it doesn't really become a problem. I've got crafting tables in the floor, got a few furnaces just for, I mean, we have our smeltery room downstairs. This is just for, like, really quick smelting when I just need a little bit of a specific thing smelted down, as opposed to mass quantities. We've got an ender chest here. We've got our replacement gear, which I still have not finished replacing, so that's all good. We've got our redstone crafting potions. We've got 2 decor boxes because I actually ran out of space down in the main room before, so I figured now that we're moving it up here, it might as well have 2 official boxes. We've got our dyes up here, a whole bunch of green from when I was doing, actually I don't remember, what was that project? Was that when I was doing that might have been when I did the community farms. I did some decoration. I think I used green for that. But anyway, we've got some anvils on both sides with a potion set on top of each anvil. Just, you know, for your emergency needs, I guess. I'm probably not going to have a dedicated potion brewing area. And then we could go upstairs, and this is where we hadn't really done any work before, and it is completely done now. So you come upstairs, you've got a little bit of room on this side, a little room on the other side. I was going to put the portal here, but then it ended up being, it would be way too small, so I didn't. You got a little bitty balcony. We're not going to look out there because it'd give away spoilers. We could come up here and look out this balcony, though. See all the torch spam we have down there. And you can see that is where we had some little bitty island chains and everything. And out of render distance, you can't see it because the server limits it to like 10 chunks or whatever. Just slightly out of range there is where the dirt pillar that marks the edge of our base is located. And you can keep coming up, and this is kind of like the attic space, really, which kind of is why it has like this weird sloped roof going on. Not a whole lot to see. You could just have a little balcony looking down to the previous floors, and then you also have this little, I don't know what you would call these, like lookout tower type things. You can go up to this level, or you can go all the way up, and this is like the equivalent over there. So it's the tippy top of our base. You can't really see a whole lot. There's not a lot of room to look out, but it's not bad. So let's go. I'm gonna go back downstairs, and we're gonna go out on our lawn, and we're gonna take a look at what I've been doing outside. So give me a minute, and I'll get down there. Alrighty, everybody, welcome back. I'm standing outside on our rooftop because this gives us a pretty good vantage point for what I have been working on while I've been snowed in. We've got on my my little character's right side there, but left side of the screen, we've got the marketplace. As you can see, I've added a sort of trench running around, as well as a little like dock area there out front. And I've got the beginnings of a wall that is going to wrap around the market on both sides and behind where the dark anchor is located. And then over, like above my head, we've got a little bit of that wall actually built. It's not going to be a very deep thing. And then we have another wall made out of brick, because the part around the market itself is a mixture of oak wood and cobblestone, but then the areas over on the other side is brick, just like our base actually. So we've got the brick, we've got cobble walls with the smooth stone slabs as sort of like struts or support beams. So we've got that going on. We've got a little bit of a dock deck area, whatever, over on the side there with the brick walls that goes back to that oak and cobblestone design. I'm just trying to integrate the two designs. The parts that are cobblestone and oak are only going to go as high as they are currently. The areas that are made out of the stone brick, however, are going to go significantly higher, and the idea is that we're going to have basically two layers of depth with our walls. We're going to have the lower sets that are the cobble and the wood, and then the higher, more defensible parts with the stone brick. And you can also see I have the starts of 3 towers over there as well, that are marked out there. And then that one building way back there is actually smack dab on top of our village breeder, and that's what we're going to work on today. So let's take a quick little fly down here, not swim. We're not swimming through the air. Smack our face, of course. I went out after I did all of the tree chopping and all of that fun stuff all the way out there. I went and gathered up every single animal that was on our island, including the areas that I had demolished down there. These are all of our animals, pretty much. Every animal that we can lay claim to, except I suppose there might be some on the chain islands way over there. I don't know if I'm really going to bother bringing them all the way over the water, though. And this is realistically a lot of animals to start with anyway. We've got plenty of, like, ridiculous number of pigs, a good number of cows, a fair number of sheep, couple chickens, not very many, but they'll lay eggs, and we can, like this one here, we can just, have a chance to repopulate them. So these guys I will eventually use to do some sort of farms, whether it's a micro farm or not, I'm not sure, but that's fine. And then you can look down here and see our little, like, moat or trench or whatever. And it just wraps around. There's nothing you can actually do down there, but it's kind of just that added layer of defense for the marketplace, because you got to remember, underneath the market is all our villagers, so we got to keep them safe. And then over here we've got it's like a deck, but it's it's like separated from the actual market, but it kind of follows the same theme. So we've got the cobble outlining the edges. We've got the wood, we've got andesite. So we've got the same sort of design going on here. So what I'm thinking is I'll probably have like more of those little stalls over there, over here in the areas that have andesite, because that's the main market, but this whole thing is ultimately going to be the market. And it's going to be like encircled or whatever, encompassed by the stone brick. So the stone brick's going to go all the way around the circumference of the market, probably like a 10 block depth or so, all the way around. And everything within that segment or section will be part of the market. Everything outside that, well, that'll be something we work on later. Let's see, over here, this is kind of a boring area right now. This will eventually be farmland. I don't know how much of it will be farmland, like crops and whatnot, fields and whatnot. But this is going to be the farmhouse. Part of the reason why I haven't done a whole lot is because I don't know where I want to run this wall. And I could really actually use your help with this. I mean, I'm going to keep trying to come up with ideas on my own as well, but if I'm not able to come up with an idea faster, and if you guys have an idea, I want to find a way to kind of detail out these 5 wide wall segments here. On the towers themselves, I already know what I'm going to do with them, but I'm just trying to find like a design that I could do with these wall segments. It's kind of tricky because the wall segments are only 3 blocks thick. It has to be something that looks good from both sides of the wall. So if we run over here, this segment here, we can use this middle layer, but it has to look good from this side and this side. And I'm having a hard time coming up with something that I like. And I've tried, honestly, while being snowed in, I've probably tried like 10 different designs. And like, it looks okay, but it's just not doing it for me. And it's really hard to, I never thought it'd be so hard to come up with just a wall design, you know? So if you have any ideas, and I'm not able to figure something out, feel free to let me know if you've got them. For now, I'm just going to leave it plain Jane. Over here, we've got the farmhouse on top of our villager breeder. So we've got our pigman here that's supposed to scare them off, and I don't think he actually does it very well. We've got 2 farmers over here doing their thing. We've got our detector guy way down there. And this farmhouse design is actually from Skyrim. Shocker, shocker, because that's what the base is all about. It is the Chillfurrow farm that is outside of, what is it, Whitehall? Or no, Whitehall? It's White something. Hang on. Here we go. Chillfurrow farm. Whiterun, that's it. And I actually have these books. I'll get into that in a minute too. So this is Chillfurrow Farm, and I have a picture on my tablet of what it looks like. It's nothing fantastic. It's a pretty simple design. I wish we had thatch though, because in Skyrim, pretty much all of the houses have thatch roofs out in the country land and everything, or maybe like a tile, maybe. So like a cheap tile type thing, but a lot of them have thatch, and I wish we had thatch roofs, but we don't, so we'll just have to do what we can do. But it's a pretty basic design, and I want to build this in today's episode, and I have the foundation already built, and so we're just going to work on this today. So these, some of them, like this one, they're basically just excerpts from, what is it, I'm trying to remember the acronym, what is it? UESP, the unofficial Elder Scrolls pages, I think is what it's called. It's like basically like a Wikipedia, basically, specifically for the Elder Scrolls franchise. And so this is just an excerpt from the wiki page, basically. And I share here which game it appears in. So this particular farmhouse appears in the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim video game, and basically it's just a little like history, basically, of what the build is and everything like that. So, and here's the fun part. It's actually in the wiki, in the game too, but there's a book called The Importance of Where inside this farmhouse. So I actually got that as well, because it's weird. Skyrim's got these like books in the game. You can actually read them. They have like short stories and stuff in it. It's kind of cool. So I think I will have a little station set up with our base there, our dark anchor, the market, this farmhouse, and literally every other like Skyrim-based build that we make is going to have like a little station, like maybe made out of cobble or stone, and it's going to have an item frame naming the build, and then a book that goes with it to describe what the build is based on, what it's supposed to be, that sort of a thing. So it's just a cool little idea I thought I might do, but that's going to be a later thing, so we're going to put that away. So let me get some things organized and figure out what we want to do next with this, and I will be right back. And welcome back, everybody. I have been doing quite a bit of work here. I completely switched out the oak planks for spruce planks. I felt it was a bit too oaky for my preference. I've also got the front facade set up here. I'm not really convinced I like it. I love the slope of the roof. I just am not convinced on the block choice, and I was originally doing a lot more, like, this dark oak here was originally cobble as well, but then it felt too heavy with cobble. To be honest, it kind of still feels that way. I'm trying to figure out a way to minimize that, but it's a lot harder than I thought it would be to do this. And first of all, the cobble, everything here that you see with cobble isn't actually in the Skyrim build at all. Like I said, it was a very thatch and wood based build, but we don't have thatch, and I don't want it to be completely made of wood. So fitting in some sort of a stone, I guess it feels kind of necessary to me. Another problem is the dilemma then, if I'm going to include stone, do I use stone brick or cobble? And for a little but for a little farmhouse, it made more sense to go with cobble than with stone brick. So that's why we've got the cobblestone here. I may also give it a cobblestone foundation, which by that I mean I would just take this bottom row here and put in that instead, and I think I might do that. I kind of like that. Usually I try to keep blocks that are different from being flush with each other, but in the case of this sort of foundation, it actually makes sense. A lot of houses are built that way, so I'm very tempted to do that all the way around. I also had the front door here. It used to come out to like here, but I didn't like the way the roof looked with that, so I recessed it into the main wall of the building. So we're gonna have this roof slope. It's gonna be pretty much replicated on the other side, and as well as smaller, because it's not quite as wide, but smaller versions here. And then they're all gonna come up to their respective points up there. And then I'm thinking I'm going to use in place of what is it? Thatch. I might just try using the oak wood that we were going to use, that we originally had for the walls. If I'm particularly industrious, I may look and see how horrible hay blocks would look, but the problem with that is it'd be a lot of hay blocks, and I don't currently have a source of wheat, though I could always go mow literally the entire farm at the farming community farms. That would give me more than enough, because I don't think I have any in storage, but I don't know. I'll take a look and see, just in case. I mean, because I want to try a couple different things. I don't know whether this is too many wood variants, because I stripped down, these are oak beams, so I stripped them down. We've got spruce wall, we've got dark oak for like the trim. Is that too much wood variant? I'm not sure if there's such thing as too much wood variant. The inside doesn't really matter, so it's just gonna be spruce and the oak floor and whatnot. So yeah, I'm not sure what I think. And actually, while I'm thinking of what I'm doing here, I want to get rid of that. Did I have dirt? Yes, I do. Give me my dirt back. Because I'm going to put a door right there. I don't think I have it on me, but I'm going to put a door right there, and I want the dirt visible. So let me go ahead and replicate this slope thingy on on the other three sides, and I'll take a look at the whole thatch idea, see if it is at least vaguely, remotely possible, and then I'll bring you back for a quick update in a little bit. And welcome back, everybody. I have finished out the actually the entire roof. Once I got started, I just, you know, when you just start working on something, you kind of lose track of what you're doing, and next thing you know, it's done, pretty much. Well, that's happened here. I put in the frameworks on both sides, or all sides. I put in the roof itself. I would like to come back through with maybe probably spruce slabs and kind of like change it up a little bit, have a few patches that are spruce and whatnot, just to make it look a little more run down, maybe a few pieces that are like out of place or something, just to give it a little bit of variation, because it's otherwise a very plain roof, I feel. Now the center here there's actually like a miniature tower, and I really do want to stress the miniature part. It goes up like if I want to put a post, it'd probably go up like 3 blocks and then have a little teeny tiny little roof on top, so that you can literally just like maybe climb up a ladder or something and be at this height and have a little ceiling. And there come the phantoms. Ow. They have been plaguing me, as always, when I build outside. Come back here, you. Oh dear. I haven't slept in forever. That's right, you go die. There we go. Look at that, another head for the collection. I only have a bajillion of them. The fireplace here... Okay, come on. I'm trying to work here. The fireplace here is, I guess, done. It has to have this opening right here so that the glass for the breeder, like the doors down there, still have access. So I don't really have a whole lot of choices here. I might go through here and tear down. Actually, I think I can. I think I can tear down some of the spruce in there so that it's mostly cobblestone, but that's something I can take care of. I mean, you only notice that if you're looking down the inside of the chimney. I was talking about putting a door on, and then, duh, we got a villager breeder here. We can't use a door, so I'll have to use like an iron door or something, and then have like a button or something that you have to push to open it, of course. And this is what the interior looks like. Obviously the roof looks like an absolute mess. I don't think I'm going to have a second floor, except maybe a tiny loft so that you can reach the steeple thingy up there. Other than that, I'm probably just going to touch up the walls, touch up the ceiling a little bit. Actually, you know, the ceiling doesn't look that bad. If I brought the walls up to like this level, oops, that's not what I wanted. Get rid of that torch. That it really doesn't look that bad. I would just want some sort of transition between the oak and the spruce, and of course between the oak, stripped oak logs and the oak blocks there. But otherwise, the actual slope of the roof from the inside is not that bad. It's pretty clean. But I think this is a good place to call it. I think when we come back next episode, we will finish construction on the inside and decorate it. Maybe just spend the whole episode decorating the inside of this room. And I just realized I forgot to put the cobble along the base, so I'll probably do that off camera. But I think this is a good place to call it. We've got a nice little fireplace here that I put in. You can hardly even tell that it's open there. Down to the villager breeder detector guy. But yeah, I think this is a good place to call it. I know it's been a bit of a weird episode since I did so much off screen, and it took a lot of time to go over that with all of you guys and get you caught up after our weird snow. Like, the weather here is just really weird. I live in Michigan, and the lake effect, people are like, well, what's the lake effect? What's the lake? Believe me, if you lived in Michigan, you would know what the lake effect is. It just, going over Lake Michigan, it just stirs up everything. We always get our weather out of the west. And we had like minus 35 degrees Celsius breezes, like wind chills. The temperature, even without that, got down to like -10, -15 or thereabouts. And that was just a couple days ago, like 3-4 days ago. And outside right now it's like 45 degrees, like positive 45 degrees. Our weather is just really whacked. I don't know. But yeah, so it's been weird, and I've gotten a lot of work done off camera that we went over earlier in the episode, so that took a lot more time from, you know, our normal building and everything. But I hope you still enjoyed the episode anyway. I hope you keep coming back for more, and I guess until next time, I hope you have a fantastic time, and I'll see you later. Bye!